1. The first beast of Revelations. The book of Revelation describes two beasts. The first being is described as the first beast of Revelation, and it's a monster with 7 heads, 10 horns, the mouth of a lion, the feet of a bear, and the general body appearance of a leopard. This creature arises from the ocean. This beast carries the title, the name of blasphemy, upon all its 7 heads. It heals one of the heads after taking a serious beating. Revelations 13 verse 1. It's also called the beast of the sea. Function. In Revelation 17 verse 7 to 8, an angel shows up to pop in the head of a creature and explains that the being was a metaphorical description of mountains and kings. 2. The second beast of Revelations. The second beast of Revelations is also called the beast of the earth. It arises from the earth, has 2 horns, and speaks like a dragon. Its horns are described to be like the horns of a lamb. The beast shows up immediately after the first beast of Revelations. Function is to make the people serve and worship the first beast. It carries out a lot of false miracles, including pulling fire from the sky. This beast allows the first beast to kill anyone who refuses to worship him. Revelations 13 verse 11 to 16. It also owes the honor of marking and branding the heads of its followers with the mark of the beast. 3. Cockatrices. The cockatrices are mentioned 3 times in the book of Isaiah, and in Isaiah 11 verse 8, Isaiah 14:29, and Isaiah 59:5, and also in the book of Jeremiah 8 verse 17. This creature is a legendary monster, half rooster and half snake. The word step is the Hebrew word from which it is interpreted, and it means poisonous viper or serpent more appropriately. Function: turns people to cold stones upon one look. 4. Abaddon's locusts. The locusts are ruled by the Abaddon, the angel of the bottomless pit. The locusts are beings that resemble war horses, having stinging tails of scorpions, the faces of men and women's long hair. They wore crowns of gold and armored breastplates. Function: they use their scorpion's tail to sting men. This experience was described in Revelation as very painful, an experience that will be so painful that men shall rather seek death and yet not find it. 5. The Leviathan. Another spiritual being mentioned in the Bible is Leviathan, which is a monster that breathes fire and brings out smokes from its nostrils. It has multiple heads. Its scales are harder than iron, and it has a strong jaw with which it can crush anything. This creature is described in Job 3 verse 8, Job 41 verse 1 to 34, Isaiah 27 verse 1, Psalm 74 verse 14, Psalms 104 verse 24 to 30. The name means a coiled one. This creature is a monstrous serpent sea creature. This creature is described after the behemoth. It's called the beast of the land. Function: it represents a symbol of evil or Israel's enemies. 6. Archangels. Archangels are angels of high rank who stand in the presence of God. Archangel Michael was mentioned in the books of Revelation in the heavenly war between the devil and its angels and God's angels. Function: they watch, guide over the universe. They fight wars. Archangels are angels that do the work of God. They receive messages from God to deliver to men. Angel Gabriel, mentioned in the book of Luke, was the angel who went to announce Jesus' birth to Mary. He was also the one who delivered the message to Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, who would be the one to prepare the way for the Lord. 7. Dragon. A creature that's mentioned in the book of Revelation is the great dragon. This dragon has 7 heads and 10 horns. He has a very enormous tail. In the book of Revelations, this dragon is identified as Satan, who fights God's angel and was cast out from heaven to earth to be locked up in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. The Bible mentions dragon in several places. About 34 times in the King James Version, the dragon was a word that seems to generally mean a big, intimidating creature. The only direct interpretation of the dragon as a being was in Revelation, where it refers to the devil. Function: the devil's function is to kill, steal, and destroy, and wage war against the people of God's kingdom. John 10 verse 10. 8. The Nephilim. The Nephilim were described in the book of Genesis as the offsprings of the Son of God and daughters of men. The same chapter says that in those days there were giants on earth. However, there are lots of debate on whether these giants are the offsprings of the Son of God and daughters of men. The sons of God in this context are fallen angels who were cast out of their abode in heaven after the great heavenly war. The Nephilim are described to be giants who are the children of fallen angels and the female human race. Function: the fallen angels and their offsprings terrorize the earth and spread corruption all around. 9. Cherubims were shortly called cherubs, not the lovable pudgy angels we are used to seeing in films or art description of Cupid. In Jewish teachings, the cherubims are referred to be the ninth highest order of angels. Their description is very much different from anything we could have thought of. Each one has 4 faces: a human face, an ox, an eagle, and a lion. Also, they have 4 wings too, as well as straight legs with shiny bronze bull hooves. Function: they are tasked with several series of duties, amongst which the most famous is the guardian of the gates of Eden. They also have the assignment of helping people move beyond their sins to be closer to God, and it's believed that they are sculpted into the lead of the Ark of the Covenant, which was mentioned in the book of Exodus. 10. Ofanim. The Ofanim are another set of angels which are, according to the Jewish traditions, considered some of the holiest. The Ofanim are second to the Chariot HaKodesh, which holds the throne of God. The Ofanim are covered in eyes. They are flaming gyroscopes. Function: they guard God's seat of power. 11. Talking serpent. The serpent that was described as a cunning animal in the book of Genesis was able to talk. Animals usually make sounds, not talk, and so we consider them to be a being. Commonly known as the devil Satan, Satan is called the serpent severally in the scriptures. The serpent was responsible for the fall of mankind in the scriptures. Function is to deceive men. The serpent was responsible for the fall of mankind. Through him, sin was introduced to the earth. 12. Demons are mentioned severally in the Bible and have become the theme of several movies and books. There are several theories about how they originated. While they are mentioned severally in the Bible, they weren't dwelt upon, and neither was their creation story talked about. One theory is of the mind that demons are the fallen angels that were cast out of heaven, the ones who were not bound in hell and fell to the earth. Another theory is that demons are the spirit of evil people when they die. This view is very controversial because the Bible tells us that once a man dies, there is judgment. Another view is that demons originated from the spirit of the fallen angels after the great flood in Genesis, or from the spirit of the giants who were believed to be the offsprings of the fallen angels and the human race. Whatever it might be, demons are totally spiritual beings who take the form of flesh by either possessing a body. In some contexts, demons are used to refer to other gods. Those demons are said to be under the authority of the devil, and they no longer have their free will to do anything, except of course if the thing is in total alignment with the will of the devil. Function: they possess the bodies of people to carry out evil works like sickness, causing death and destruction. 13. Witches. The Witch of Endor. The Witch of Endor is mentioned in the book of 1 Samuel, where King Saul disguises himself to seek a consultation. Witches are subsidiaries of demons who have sworn their lives to their master, the demons, and in turn the devil. Many historians have suggested that the Witch of Endor was a male and that he helped his tribe with magical powers. Function: they consult spiritual forces for wisdom, knowledge, and future knowledge. 14. The behemoth. The behemoth is a gigantic creature that can only be controlled by God himself. The tail is said to be so large that it has to move like cedar. It also has iron-like limbs. This creature is mentioned in the book of Job. It is described as a creature that could drink a whole river. The behemoth was mentioned several times in a paragraph in the book of Job. It has a navel in its belly, which holds its power. Function: the behemoth represents a symbol of chaos. 15. Angels. Angels are mentioned in the Bible and are mentioned in several contexts. The Bible talks about the angel taking charge of us. An angel was the one who delivered the message of Christ's birth. It was an angel who fought in the war of heaven against the devil and its angels. These angels, according to Jewish traditions, are believed to be in ranks. Some higher angel ranks are archangels, cherubims, seraphims, and Ofanim. The function of angels varies from protecting men to delivering God's message to men, guarding God's seat and throne, guarding the Garden of Eden, and also fighting battles for God.